The difference.
Alright, my name is Dane Hammerly, otherwise known as Duhjuanyay, part of Spat Records. The origin of the name Duhjuanyay came from just a childhood nickname, kind of a combination of everything. I was called Dwayne for the longest time, just as a joke from my siblings, and words got switched around, letters got switched around. Duhjuanyay came to fruition. A lot of my friends from Muskegon, when I moved here, called me Duhjuanyay just because I spell it duh, and then like D-U-H, then wan, and yay. A lot of people think it means don't want yay, don't want coke, but that was never the intent. Of course, I don't want that, but yeah, I mean, it is what it is. The wan in the middle kind of is a nod to my Hispanic ancestry, so just kind of started off as a goof, and you know, all rappers need aliases, so Duhjuanyay is mine.
The difference.
I consider the music that I am creating, that we're creating, to be, I guess, independent hip hop. You know, we're underground. We're doing things on our own terms. We're not necessarily trying to make any radio hits, you know, anything like that. I'd say indie, hip hop, experimental could pretty much sum up what all of us in Spat are doing. You know, some of us lean more towards the indie side, some of us lean more towards the hip hop side, but ultimately, you know, we're covering all angles. Each one of us is completely different in what we do. So, yeah, I think we got all the angles covered as far as the styles of the hip hop we're bringing.
We're gonna get in it.
Yo. Check. Spit Spat.
What's the haps, Duhjuanyay?
What's up, Bill Joe? What's happening? What's happening? Spit Spat. My man, The Hill.
What up? How you doing?
Check. Ain't ready. Yo, if I'm riding by the seat of my pants, I can't dance, so I glance back, take a step back, paint it black. Relapse, it's not a question, it's a fact. And if I keep on stringing along addictions, I think I'm bound to tap out. No doubt what y'all know about that. What y'all know is a little bit of fact, coupled with small town crap. A rolling stone without the greatest home life, just some strife and the need to be alone with a microphone in a makeshift vocal booth. I'm doing what I wanna do, I gotta do it, man. I feel like I'm supposed to do, I want to do. Who are you to tell me anything but I've wanted to do for as long as I've been busting nuts. I straight fuck a beat, no time for courting. Please keep it down, we're in the middle of recording. Danny, Donnie, Joe, John, Jordan, they'll be supporting this new kid on the block when he's taking over with no warning. Weaving through the waves of infinite design, and if he dies, he dies. So well, at least you know he tried. And if she lies, she cries, at least she kept it alive. So I'ma kill tomorrow, cause today's not the day to die. Oh my, back to the lecture at hand. Perfection's not perfected, I'm just trying to understand, man. From a young D's perspective, I should've wrapped it up a while ago. I should've used a contraceptive. And you can bet that I thought twice on that. Now I pass on easy shit, I brace for impact. My heart's where it needs to be at. In love with the game, I take pain, crush it with hugs. I got no complaints, because we do it like that. Fresh raps, no scripts to reenact. Just sing along if you think you know the song, and if you don't know the words, you can yell because we do it like that. Got backpacks packed with raps and snacks. Yeah, just sing along if you think you know the song, and if you're down with my crew, you can yell. Yo, there's gotta be a reason I was put on this turf, cause half my worth resides in knowing the earth and where I came from. Y'all better hang on, sons. Goodbye to love, because we've only just begun. A carpenter with my words, my clean cuts will make you shiver. Through your headphones, you close your bones to your livers. I beat FedEx to the punch, cause you know I deliver. And I can gauge this shit just from your post-coital shiver. Speaking of livers, mine has seen better days. You'd be amazed just how much abuse a human body can take. But all my mistakes made me the man boy I am today. I'm sick of being the poster child for cocaine or alcohol abuse. I'm about to loosen this noose, if only just to help me get my voice through. And if you're acting kinda rude with you, I'm through. I play the nice guy card too long to keep encouraging fools. I can't drive, so I carpool to school. The studio, the stage is where I lose my cool. I act the fool. And if you ridicule, let me remind you, you're just a molecule. I'm like the Beatles out in Liverpool. Help, because you need somebody. You're dizzy like Miss Lizzie, cause you took too many shots at the party. You got a ticket to ride. I squash the beef alive, cause human beings gotta coincide. Because we do it like that. Fresh raps, no scripts to reenact. Just sing along if you think you know the song, and if you don't know the words, you can yell Spit Spat! Because we do it like that. Got backpacks packed with raps and snacks. Yeah, just sing along if you think you know the song, and if you're down with my crew, you can yell Spit Spat!
The difference.
I take influences from a lot of different places. I started out playing in punk and metal bands, as did Phil Me, and you know, I listen to all sorts of music. I've always been a hip-hop head, even throughout the metal thing. But I think my major influences are just, you know, a lot of local artists around the area, especially the Muskegon area, is kind of starting a pretty unique and powerful scene. And I'm always inspired by other artists, you know, locally especially, that are doing what we're doing. You know, going out there, doing shows, promoting. It's, you know, on a bigger scale of things. My oldest brother, he, in the early mid-90s, when, you know, he was in high school, I would sit and, you know, listen to his music outside of his room, and he was into a lot of, like, you know, Belle Biv DeVoe, a lot of, you know, Bobby Brown, and then Tribe Called Quest, Das Effects, Onyx. You know, when CDs first started becoming affordable, when he got his CD collection, he passed me down all his tapes. I started making this music with the Spit Spat Boys not that long ago. It's been the first album I put out was an album called Duhjuanyay and the Dr. Trio. And that was kind of my first foray into the hip hop world. You know, I had to train myself and learn what works for hip hop shows. I started doing the hip hop thing under a year ago. Put out an album with my buddy, and then I linked up with Phil in March 2010 at Hip Hop for Haiti. He was passing out his Kid at Heart demos, and I'd heard about him through Manwolf, but I never met the guy. And of course, he looks, you know, he's the anti-hip-hop looking guy. I guess we all are, but so when I saw him and I saw his artwork for his CD, I was just totally interested already before I even heard it. Played the CD, loved it. Me and him hooked up, and you know, he started talking about doing some production for me. He kind of mentioned Spit Spat, and you know, I kind of pushed him. I decided one day, I told him, I was like, you know, we got to do this, make it happen. Him and Cahill were already kind of wanting to do it. I just, you know, I just kept stressing to him, you know, we need to make this happen. We need to start our own label, start our own crew, start from the ground up. And yeah, so it hasn't been that long. I've only known Phil since March. What is it, October now? So we've been since then, you know, we put out quite a bit of stuff. We've done the Difference mixtape, and we're completing work on my mixtape, 1 Year in the Clear, which will be done at the end of this month. So yeah, like I said, I'm just inspired by local people doing the same thing that we're doing. Actually write a tune, I write every day. I don't necessarily keep what I write every day, but this is still new to me, so I am very interested in just the whole process. It doesn't take much for me to sit down and write. If I'm off of work and I have nothing going on, that's usually, you know, idle hands.
The difference.
How do I word this? It was, my first recordings were just documents of kind of my mishaps and me going to jail for my drunk driving and DUIs and drug crap, and you know, it was good to get all that out, but now I'm trying to keep it a broader spectrum. I'm trying to do more third-person stuff, trying to make more people feel included. You know, people don't want to always hear you talk about me. But most of the themes, definitely now that I've been sober for over a year, are dealing with just reality and how to deal with that without having to, you know, self-medicate. So yeah, like I'm having a fun time listening to Phil and Cahill. They tell stories, so it's nice to try to throw those stories, you know, do similar things with my stuff, you know, just being inspired by everybody in the crew. Bill Crosby, he's just crazy, off the handle, and he's got great energy. and he's got a totally unique flow. Together, go over what needs to be done. If there's a show coming up, we'll rehearse. If someone's working on a project, we'll wrap that up. Other than that, me and Bill Crosby, we live in the same town, so we are always either cruising around, practicing our stuff, or having full practice with full PA at his house. It's hard to coordinate. Sometimes it's hard to coordinate my stuff. I play with some live musicians, and I'm stoked to have them, but they're also in other bands doing other things, so I have to keep on my scheduling and my prioritizing my time when we are together, because a lot of those cats that I'm messing with, they're all really talented musicians, so they're doing other things with other people, so I got to make the most of the time that I have with them. The ultimate direction for myself, and I think I speak the ultimate direction for myself and Spat is just to, we were talking last night, we were vibing out, doing a recording session, and the ultimate goal is to be able to make as much money making music as we are now at our 9-to-5s, and that's not much. None of us are wealthy by any means, none of us have anything to fall back on, but if I can just support myself through music, I don't see any reason why not to. With 5 of us working collectively with Spat Records, it just makes it that much easier to maybe get noticed, to acquire more fans. I think the common goal is just for all of us to be able to make music for a living. I mean, we're not talking about getting on cribs, we're not talking about driving, fat rides, whatever. If I can buy my grandma a house, that'd be sweet. But I'm trying to survive, and I'm trying to make music, and I feel like I have to make music. And I think that these guys, Spat guys, are in the same boat as me. I have no question about that. No doubt in my mind.
I'm slaving every day, never part-time, I'm a full stay. A spat boys getting fat on life's buffet. Decorated soldiers with hopeful hearts and green berets. Alliteration in the state of the Great Lakes. Making moves in Michigan with microphones merely to tempt fate. So hide face or fall from grace, or simply stand aside and watch the Spat TKO some welterweights. I've been confused in days, for days I have abused my stay. Now I'm killing 16 and I'm on my way. Best bring some water, boy, I'm smashing fools like Bob Boucher. My DNA made up of disarray and wordplay. I'm slaving, changing stations to where every day is like Labor Day. My spit sprays, my spat, it ricochets. I heat up so fast, like Vinnie Johnson, I'm the microwave. And if you're into role play, the safe word is Duhjuanyay. Not gonna stop gallivanting through these alleyways, cause I've always had a problem with my own self-restraint. But nowadays I'm finding new ways to misbehave. I'm guilty of working too hard in this life I cannot orchestrate, only demonstrate and crush my hate. I nominate the maestro for production, cause I know it's gotta be great. Be fat, I cannot stress enough, I love my spats for days. Bill Crosby, fill me in Cahill, let's celebrate. And decimate the nayers of the say we're skating figure eights. We don't impersonate, we're true defenders of the faith. Yeah, I'm Duhjuanyay, I've created a place to chase my waist. When problems of the worst case come face to face, I mace hate, I'm racing the same race. Been burned before, I'm checking blind spots when I'm changing lanes.
I don't think they get it yet.